Hello, everybody, and welcome back to more of the Grade 7 Gauss from 2006. Well, it is more of the Grade 7 Gauss, but sadly this is going to be the end of the Grade 7 Gauss, at least for the next little bit. We'll be moving on to the Grade 8 Gauss after this. It's question 25, the last question on the contest. Okay, so if you've been watching the video so far, hopefully you've been comparing your solutions to mine, and we've all been getting the same answers. If you just join me and you skip into the end because you're just looking for a challenging question, that's fine. I do encourage you to download a copy of this contest, go back and try the other questions, and see how well you would do. Give yourself just an hour, that sort of thing. Okay, so question 25. 5 students wrote a quiz with a maximum score of 50. The scores of 4 of the students were 42, 43, 46, and 49. The score of the 5th student was N. The average, that is to say the mean, of the 5 students' scores was the same as the median of the 5 students' score. So we have to start thinking, how do we calculate average? How do we calculate median for a set of data, for a group of numbers? The number of values of n which are possible is... Okay, so we're not looking for a very high number of n values, just sort of 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So how do we calculate average, and how do we calculate median? Those are the things we need to know to even begin to start thinking about this question. And if you don't know them or don't remember them, and you try and you encounter a question like this on the contest, if you actually don't know how to start, if you don't know the calculations involved, leave it blank. You get 2 marks for free if you just put your hands up and say, I don't know. Go back and focus on the rest of the contest. Do perfectly on that, on the stuff that you do know. Okay? So, getting back to it, how do we calculate average? Well, to calculate an average in this case, well, first to do any sort of stuff like this, mean, median, and there's another one typically called mode. These guys are what are called measures of central tendency. And if you have a group of data, that is just really a collection of numbers, and we have a collection of 5 numbers, we can calculate these things. Average is calculated by adding everything up, including this mysterious unknown n, and dividing by how many numbers you had, how many pieces of data you had. Okay? So this average here isn't going to change, but I'll tell you something that might change is the median. So we have to ask ourselves, well, how do we calculate median? Median is just the middle number when the values are ordered. Okay? So for example, if n were 1, we would order our numbers, and we'd say, well, what's the middle one? Now, fortunately, with 5 numbers, we're always going to have a middle. Okay, so in this case, the median would be 43. If n were, 12, it would still be 43. So he doesn't. The choice of n doesn't impact a whole lot of stuff. Okay. Now, what happens if we have a duplicate? Okay, well, it doesn't actually affect anything. Suppose n were 43, and we've got 2 43s kicking around. 43 is still the middle number. What if we had n is 49? Well, we'd have the 2 49s at the end, and 46 would become the middle number of the order. Okay, it's always the middle number, even when there's duplicates. You take all the numbers into account. Okay? So we know the average has got to be equal to the median. Well, the median is going to be one of these 5 values. Depending on what n is, that will give us the average. But depending on what n is, that might affect the order. Okay? But it's possible, although I would say very unlikely, that the average can be any of these numbers. Okay? Well, it's got to be one of these numbers, because the median is one of these numbers. The median is either 42, 43, 46, 49, or n, whatever n is. If n is 44, he'll be right in the middle. And so they say the average is equal to the median, so we ask ourselves, well, under what values of n would the average be equal to 42? Okay? And then we figure out what value of n that would be. And so then we say, okay, if that's our n, let's order the numbers, is 42 in the middle? Okay, that's the sort of thing we have to do. Now, you could probably rule out 42 and 49. Okay, so let's do that for just a moment. Okay, no matter what n is, we still have 42, 43, 46, 49. If n is lower, you're going to get 43. If n somewhere in here, you're still going to get 43 is in the middle. If n is in between 43 and 46, like say n is 44, then n is in the middle. Okay? If n is more than 46 or equal to 46, then 46 is the guy in the middle. But if n is more than 49, 46 is still the guy in the middle. So it's never going to be 42 and 49. And that can cut our work in half. So the median will be either 43, 46, or n. Okay? So now we ask ourselves, well, can the average be equal to 43? Can the average be equal to 46? And for what values of n can the average be equal to n? So each three of these gives us an equation, because we've got an equation for the average in terms of n. So we answer each of these questions here. So we might say, well, 42 plus 43 plus 46 plus 49 will set up the average being equal to 43. And we'll ask ourselves, what values of n give us an average for 43? Okay. Well, we multiply both sides by 5. We can also clean up the top here a bit. If you need to, of course, grab your calculator. I'm going to, just to speed things along. 42 plus 43 plus 46 plus 49, 180. Okay. So not only will I write that down here in a moment, I will also write it up here so we don't forget. 180 plus n over 5. Okay. So we have 180 plus n is equal to 215. I'll just double check that is the case. Yep, 215. So n would have to be equal to 215 minus 180, 35. Okay. So this would be a great value for n, but does that mean 43 would be the median? Well, if n is 35, we get 35, 42, 43, 46, and 49. You bet he is the median. So the average is equal to the median when n is 35. So now we've got one value of n that works. So if we go back to our answers, we know it's not going to be D. It could be C. Right now it's looking like it's C because we don't have any others. Could be 2, 3, 4. We don't know yet, but it's certainly possible. But it can't be D because we know if n is 35, the average will be equal to the median, and both those values will be 43. Okay, now let's try the average being 46. So we'll figure out a value for n there, and hopefully that will give us a median of 46. So 180 plus n over 5 is equal to 46. So that would give us 180 plus n. We'll just multiply both sides by 5, and so that would be 4 and 5 is 20, plus 6 times 5 is 30, so 230. So then n would have to be, well, 230 minus 180, 50. Great. Well, we're allowed to have 50. You know, if it had been 51, we would have had to say no, because there's no way you can get a score more than 50. But in the question, they said maximum score of 50. Okay. So if n is 50, let's line up our numbers. 42, 43, 46, 49, and 50. 49 is both the average and the median. So we're good to go. And now we have two values. 35 and 50 will both give us the average equaling the median. So now we know it's not C or D. it's looking like it might be E, but we've got another case to check, so it could still possibly be A or B. Okay, and that's if the median happens to be n itself. So n would then be both the average and the median. Well, let's find out. When can that happen? This is a linear equation. There's one variable in n. So we're going to have only one solution for n, and that actually should rule out b. There's no way it can be 4. And so now it's either 3 or 2 that is our answer. So now we've narrowed it down to 2, and we don't even have our final answer yet. So 180 plus n is equal to 5n. So 180 is equal to 4n. So 45 is equal to n. Okay? Yeah, because half of that's 90 and then another half is 45, all because of, I can do that really fast with because of degrees. So n being 45, okay, but is n the median? N would be the average if it's 45, but would n be the median? And we check. Yeah, it would still be the median. It'd be the middle of all these numbers. Okay? So that's yet another value. So 3 values for n, 35, 50, and 45 make the average equal the median. And that's the only condition we really needed to satisfy. So 3 values, that was A, if I'm not mistaken. I am not mistaken. All right, and so we bubble that in, and we're done. We've done a fantastic contest, I think. I liked a bunch of these questions. This one wasn't so bad. I was really hoping that there'd be a solution for n that when you ordered them, he wasn't in the thing that we wanted for the average wasn't actually the median. But, yeah, that's okay that didn't happen. I was really hoping that, because we had sort of 3 situations there, and you could have said, well, 3 situations, they're each going to give us a correct answer. So you probably could have guessed at 3 quite a while ago. But we took it to conclusion. And as I said, good paper overall. I liked it. I'm going to be doing the grade 8 Gauss from 2006 next. So if you're looking for that, I'll look for those videos shortly. But you guys have been wonderful. And thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.